I'd like to introduce the great star of the movie, Marion Cotillard. And of course, she won the Oscar for her performance in La Vie en Rose. Many other films include 2 Days, One Night, Rust and Bone, Inception, The Immigrant, Macbeth. This is quite a different kind of movie from any of those. How did you get involved in it, and what kind of drew you to making this movie?
Well, but first of all, thank you for being here tonight. I received a script, and I read it, and it was nothing I had read, nothing like I had read before. It was, oh, sorry. Hello.
Move up to.
And this is, so it resonated because, well, first of all, I was really moved by the writing, the story of this daughter who wanted to understand why her mother killed herself, and the fact that she had this idea to recreate, in a way, a conversation that never happened because she needed to understand. I thought, and the script was really written, like what you saw was really written, not all of it. We can talk about it later, but and I said yes right away. I felt that there was. Today I want to do movies with artists. This is very important for me, that the person who will create this this film will have the feeling that if she or he doesn't do this movie, his or her life will not, will not be the same. I need vital things, and that was exactly what I saw when I read the script.
And what kind of information also did she give you about her mother? I mean, we see all the letters and photographs in her apartment. I don't know if those are really there, but was there a lot of that background that she provided you with that was helpful?
She gave me a lot of pictures, photos, a lot of videos, and obviously the recordings, which was the hardest part of this shooting, as you might have seen. But that was the part that was not written, the fact that I failed. And I didn't know if I would not ruin the movie, because I worked for 3 months. It was the first time I did that. I lip-synced before, but on music, and music is mathematic. The rhythm will, you have rendezvous. But speaking, and I worked 3 months, night and days. I would go for a walk every day, 5 hours I would walk, and I would really massage her voice in myself. But then when I arrived on set, it was super, super hard. And that's how she decided to include my journey as an actress who doesn't manage to do what was asked in the beginning, is to have her voice, because it was important to have her voice. And then as soon as I got the scenes with my voice, it was easier, but I struggled a lot.
I mean, a lot of the movie is you're sitting and talking, long speeches, monologues. I mean, I'm sure that was very challenging to do. I mean, and often in a single take.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is I know that when you learn something, you learn for a movie, you will learn piano or violin or a different language. I know that when you're on set, you will lose, when you're home or in rehearsal, there's there's this energy with no stress. As soon as you're on set, you lose, I would say, like 30 or 40% of the ease you have when you're not at that time where it's going to be filmed and stay. And I thought I had anticipate that, but no, I struggled a lot. And the first day I went to see Mona, the director, and I was like, I'm failing you, I'm ruining your movie. And she was like so confident, and she said, no, it's part of the process. Huh. And I was like, well, she has no choice. She will not be like, well, yeah, you're ruining my movie. Like, she needed me. So I went back home the first night. I was like, yeah, well, obviously she will like try to be positive about it, but maybe she's just back in her room and she's like, oh my God, what? But no, it was genuine. Like she had another vision of what was happening. For her, it was not me failing to do a technical thing that is really the hardest thing I've ever done.
I would think.
Yeah, but she made something out of it. And when I first saw the first cut, I was like, no, but why did you edit all my struggling and the fact that I say it's the hardest thing I've done in my life? And I was kind of ashamed, not showing that I can fail. This is not a problem. But I was wondering why she did put this in her movie, because it was not about her mother. And then she said, but if I wanted to do like a classic biopic, I wouldn't have asked you, and I wouldn't have written that scene when you come as you and you transform into my mother. So yes, I'm gonna take this and do something with it. And well, when I saw the final result, it took me time to accept that she also wanted to show my journey. But yeah, it took me time to accept that it was her choice, and it was part of how she wanted to tell her mom's story. Right. So
I read something that I think you and she both said her mother had died killed herself in 2016, and it was like a year later or so when the Me Too movement kind of brought a lot of these things that had been hidden, sexual abuse, out into the open. Do you think that could have made a difference in her mother's life?
Well, I'm not the kind of person who will think about like something that couldn't happen. Right. But when I found out the date of her death, it hurt me that she didn't see what happened a year later. Because as you saw in the movie, there's all the events and everything that she went through when she was a kid, but also the fact that she talked to all those people. She went to tell her story, and nobody really took her seriously, or if they were they would feel a guilt, they would like avoid the subject, they would tell her, we get over it. Like a lot of people get over a lot of shit. You can, and she said everything, and she also said the fact that when I told this dramatic story, the people would not hear what I was saying. That was like as terrible as what happened to her. That's why also it was important for Mona to have her mother's voice. Well, first of all, when she opened those like 26 boxes, she found right away this like recorder, and to realize that her mom had investigated on her own story and went to see all those people and recorded everything, this material was priceless. And also the fact that her voice was not her back then.
Right.
She wanted to bring it back, and at last that some people like you tonight would hear her voice and what she had to say, because she said everything.
Right. So had you known much about the history of this family, or it's not only about these, but it's about sort of the intellectual history of France and the political history during a whole period from the 50s on, I guess.
Well, I knew nothing about Mona's story and Carol's story, but of course it resonated because so many women, and men obviously, but so many women have been through sexual assault, harassment, rape, and we talk more and more about it today, and this revolution is one of the most important things that I would have seen in my life, honestly.
Right.
We're from very close or far touched by those kind of stories, and it resonated in my family as well. So yeah, it was important.
And the film, I know it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and it's been shown in France, I guess. And what kind of responses did it get there from the press and from audiences?
Well, that was pretty amazing, and we were so happy about it that really people responded to this very specific. It's like, you cannot really put like a genre on the movie. Is it a documentary? Is it? It was funny because at the same time there were like 3 movies, like Alpha's Daughters, and also I don't remember the title of this Moroccan movie. Well, kind of the same, like mix into. It's kind of a new genre. I don't know what name they're gonna find, but that really mixes documentary and fiction, because obviously it's also a fiction. I'm a fictional character playing like a real person, but
I mean, what kind of influences you in choosing a role? And was it partly in this case that it was different from other things you had done?
Yeah, this is something that is important for me, is to do something different each time for my mental health. Yeah, I think I couldn't do like roles that are close to each other. I mean, in terms of, I don't know, personality,
right,
or even like an adventure on a movie. And as I said before, I need to feel that the artist is present, that I'm part of an artistic journey led by someone who need to express herself or himself throughout cinema. This is something that is today, yeah, I want to be taken into a journey where I don't know if I'm gonna succeed in doing things, but I need this vibration of creation and art.
Right. And I know now you're doing a TV series here. Is that an enjoyable change of pace for you?
It's
also?
really different. It's really different. It's new for me. I had never done that before. My main difficulty was to adapt to 4 directors. But this is, and also the fact that you start to shoot and you don't know, like you read 3 episodes and there are 10 and you have no idea where your character is going to go.
Right.
So, you know, what's going to happen with the different characters. And at first I was like, what? Like, I won't have the whole thing, and really screwed up. I did 2 movies with him, and we're very good friends, and he told me right away that, okay, just let it go and have fun, because it's a lot of fun. And also, I'm a big fan of the series, so I was kind of waiting for the next episode to read, felt like I was waiting as an audience, you know. Waiting for the next episode to air. So, but that was an amazing experience because everything was new for me. The rhythm, and yeah, the fact that you shoot 10 episodes and it's totally mixed, and you need to keep your keep your way and try to do a good job even when you're like shaken by this new dynamic that is TV series. But it's really interesting, and all the actors are so amazing. That is also something that is really important for me, is like really to work with actors who are who want to give their best.
Right. So, I mean, most of your films, like everybody, I guess, prominent films have had a male directors directed by men, and here you're working with a woman filmmaker. What's the difference? I mean, does it make a difference, or is it just a good director is a good director?
I think a good director is a good director.
Right.
An amazing director, someone who will put heart, soul, body, mind, everything in a movie.
Right.
Yeah, but I worked with many female directors, and I mean, obviously, but 2 women are different. 2 men
Right.
are different.
Right.
So a man and a woman, a female director or a male director are obviously different.
Right. We have time for maybe a few questions from the audience. People, anything you want to ask to Marion?
Did you find yourself understanding the mother as you went along? It certainly came across that way in the movie. That last scene in front of the computer where you're typing and getting rejected, it looked in your face like you were aging and you were despairing. And I was wondering what that journey was like for you in terms of, for real, understanding this mother. Like, what was that like?
Well, I understood what I needed. Did I understand her? Who knows? But I understood what I needed to be her. And something that one of the deepest experiences that we had on set was, I had a picture that I loved of Carol and Mona. Mona is about 6 or 7, and she is in her t-shirt. Carol has put her t-shirt over so that both head comes from, and I love this picture. And when we first met with Mona and she gave me all those pictures, there was this one that I wanted to keep with me because I felt the love she had for her daughter. And one day we were on set, I think it was day 2, and I was looking at this picture and I said, when I was there with me, and I said, how she loved you. And Mona said, no. And I said, well, I don't know, but what, from my perspective, and what I saw, what I discovered about this woman is that she loved her kids. And Mona was very shaken, and she said, she was very hard with us. It was a nightmare to live with her. But then I had nothing else to offer but what I saw of her love. And I started to talk about some footages that I saw, images, like videos. And I was like, but what I feel here is love. And step by step, when I started to understand what I saw and what we shared that day was her accepting that her mom loved her, but she didn't know how to say it, to show it. But it was there, and I felt it so deeply that I think Mona, I know, she got it. So, you know, for those little moments, I think it's also why she did this movie. And I was not like thinking of what I would say, or it was not like, my purpose was not like, oh, it was really like genuine. And that was such a beautiful moment because she took me in her arms, and I had the face of her mother. So it was, and I accepted it also, that she would take something that was just there for her to take.
I was wondering about the sound effects, particularly in the beginning of the movie, but at various times throughout. They're very prominent, it seems to me, and it sort of adds to the uncertainty and the mystery. And I just wondered if you would comment on the purpose and what that brought to the film. So I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer this question, but what I can say is that each person who was part of this journey with Mona, they gave their best, and Mona was very open to. She knew exactly what she wanted. She had written exactly what you saw on screen. But all the people who worked on this movie were so involved emotionally that they gave their best, and the DP, the sound guy, I mean, we were all, we were aware that we were living something that was very special. And also, she wanted to work with this artist who does like this, like the city on the walls with lights. She was a specific artist. So every aspect of the movie was something very artistic. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, I would not be able to like tell you that specificity about the sound.
Yes, there are two different times that there was a short clip of a little girl with short blonde hair, and it was very emotional and very dramatic. Her reaction to something was so emotional. Was she anybody in particular, or just a random child? But it was two different times.
I don't know. I saw this movie a long time ago. I don't know.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, she was just riveting.
Oh.
It's just like not having to do with Mona, I don't think.
Oh yeah, well there are a lot of images that Mona wanted to put in this movie. Obviously the circus with this guy she adored, but also the portraits of mothers that inspired her. She was really like constructing her movie, and again, all those references were written. The script was partly written, but there were a lot of images, there were a lot of inspirations. It was kind of writing and mixed with a mood board, and all those pictures were already in her mind. So yeah, those archives are all her inspirations.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you document your life at all, or do you feel the need at all, considering you're in the public eye and a performer, so there's lots of documentation?
I don't take enough pictures of my kids already, so I don't try to do things that I need, and I don't think I need to. I try to cope with my ego. I have to say, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I don't want to ruin everything. But I have some friends who take pictures, who, and of me as a person or as an actress, and I like pictures, and I like this friend, he does amazing pictures, but and he's one of my best friends, so he's very intimate, and he can take, pictures, but I don't need it, and I'm kind of glad I don't. And but I understand people who do it. It's a need, and if they're happy and their fans are happy with, all this, but sometimes I think I should take more pictures or videos, but I don't.
So what, after you're doing this TV show now, what, do you have plans beyond that? Other films, other projects?
Yes, I'm going back to France, and first of all, I'm gonna do a tour with this oratorio that I've been doing for almost 20 years, Joan of Arc at the Stake. I did it in the Lincoln Center 10 years ago, actually. And this tour takes me to Vienna, to Frankfurt, to Hamburg, and to Paris, and to those like amazing opera theaters. And then I'm going to do a very, very artistic movie, French movie, with a guy named Bertrand Mondicot, who does really like œuvre d'art, but it's very film d'auteur. It's, but yeah, again, an artist, and then I'm going to do another movie in France with Guillaume Canet, who wrote a movie for me.
Yes. I mean, did working on this movie give you more of a desire to do more experimental work, I guess, maybe in the future? Because this is an experimental movie in many ways.
Yeah. And I think that the one that I will shoot with Mondicot is also kind of experimental. Right. I like it because there's this sense of freedom that I think is really important for an artist.
Right. Well, this has been a great
Oh, thank you so
conversation.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.